Good morning, everybody. Come on in. How's everybody doing this morning? Oh, good morning, Facebook. Martine Lissa Malivers here. Roleplay Part 2, A Man's World. That's what we're going to be talking about today. What do I need you to bring? The men's. Please bring the men's. Open heart, open mind. Water, tea, coffee, hydration. And I'm going to go here on my phone because, you might have invited them and they might have said that they were coming, but you know what they're doing right now, right? They're asleep. Let's wake them up. Do we have any men in the space?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Good morning.
I'm lying on y'all.
Testing. 1, 2.
I don't know if I can hear me.
Good morning. Good
Morning.
Oh,
all these deep voices this morning.
Wait a minute.
Whoa. All right, represent.
If you feel this, come on camera. Let us see you. Hold on. If you're single, something might happen this morning. We're not used to this. Come on, fellas. Okay, I see Quasi. Good morning.
Here.
Well, Andre. Hey, Keith.
Good morning.
Hey, Adam.
Morning.
Adam holds it down every morning.
Adam, listen. Adam, you got a crew today.
Yes.
You got backup today, Adam.
Yeah, I'm here. How's everyone doing this morning?
Good.
We're good. Terry, what's up? Is that my bro, Terry?
Good morning.
Good morning. Come on in. Hey, Kenneth number 2. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning.
Hi, Ken.
Good morning, Kenneth number 2.
Hi, Dad.
Kenneth said, what? They said single. Let me get on camera. Right.
No, they got Kenneth number 1 on here too. Oh man.
Yes, Dad is here.
Yeah, I'm in the house.
Jaquan, I see you, Jaquan. Good morning. Come on in, invite your friends.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning. Martine Lissa Malivers here. Good morning, and thank you so much for coming, especially if it's your first time, especially if you're a male and it's your first time. My ladies, I didn't forget about you. Thank you always for supporting me. My name is Martine Lissa Malivers. I'm a research nurse who works in the #1 heart center in the United States out here in Houston, Texas. I'm also a child sexual abuse prevention educator. In 2011, I founded a nonprofit named Touch the Rebellion. We aim to make the public aware of the prevalence of child sexual abuse in all communities and teach preventative measures against it. And as of recent, I've adopted the name The Change Maker is one of my goals. My purpose is to gain consensus in identifying toxic cultural norms and replacing them with new healthy norms through creative and engaging programming for the betterment of society. And today I'm facilitating Wake Up Everybody. This is a wonderful morning program. I hope this is not your first and last time. Please come back. Today's session is entitled Roleplay, Part 2, A Man's World. And I'm sorry to say that a lot of you in this space may have missed Part 1, which was a woman's work. So we had Part 1, and it was provocative, baby. It was juicy, baby. It was so provocative and juicy that we had to have a Part 1A, a follow-up session. And I'm sure we're gonna need one for today too, because the community is just ready to talk about some things, okay? Disclaimers, we're gonna stretch today. A lot of the topics I bring up, they can be a little bit uncomfortable. You may find some things I say offensive. There's a piece that I'm going to share later that I probably should have one of those explicit language, disclaimers for. You may hear some words that offend you, ethnic slurs, things like that. But I'm all about honesty. I'm all about working through things, being authentic so that we can be better. Okay. Is everybody in agreement with that? Are we grown and sexy enough for that? Fellas, let me hear from you. How y'all doing?
Everything's
Feeling good. I'm with it. That's good to
Doing good, doing good.
Good. So let's go to slide 2. In true change maker fashion, I begin all my sessions with identifying a toxic norm, and then I propose a change I would like to see, and I try to gain consensus from you all for that. So let me know if you agree. The toxic norm that I identified is gender-based roles have superseded the unique talents of the individual and driven societal standards that hinder potentiality and self-actualization. Can one of you men come off and tell me what you think that means? And let me just clarify, self-actualization may mean different things for different people. I'm going by Maslow. I think he coined the term too. Maslow, he said that self-actualization can be described as the complete realization of one's potential as manifest in peak experiences, which involve the full development of one's abilities and appreciation for life. So I think that gender-based roles kind of hinder that. So let me know what you guys think.
So Quasi has his hand up.
Come on, Quasi.
Yeah, so for me, the first part kind of represents, if you're stuck in a box, you can't really grow into the shape that you're really trying to be in, your own unique shape. So I think the second one allows for us to pick and choose what society said was for man and what was for woman. And we can choose for ourselves, and we can be more expressive of who we really are.
Quasi, can you relate to this at all personally? Is there anything that maybe you're good at that is traditionally a female role?
Oh, for sure. I'm Chef Quaz. I'll chef up real good. So if it was up to me, I cook at the crib. And I know that's not typical what men do.
We're definitely seeing a rise in men cooking. Anybody else, any other man feel like they do something maybe better than women do, but supposedly it's a woman's thing to do? Any man here do hair or something like that?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say that unfortunately, maybe in this generation they don't understand that there are some things that let's just put it this way, that women can do that men can't do. I think that's the maybe the safe answer. Like, so there are certain things that in your natural gender is going to be a lot easier for you to do. It's going to be a lot of things that are that just, I don't know, like, you know, like, why would I say I can do this better than you and vice versa? It's going to be a natural thing for you to do it better than me. And I feel like people get lost in like, oh, I want to be better than him, or I want to topple this. And like sometimes that creates a lot more problems, I feel.
Okay, but is there anything in particular that you do that is traditionally a female gender role?
I mean, no, not necessarily. Yeah. Then everybody can do pretty much everything.
Okay, so I'm gonna segue off of what you said. Can you bring that same slide back up? And let's go over the change that I would like to see. And it is along the lines of what you just said. And so what I would like to see and what I would like to gain consensus from the community helping me with is flexibility in roles imposed by society to accommodate for individuality, changing situations, and that reward and compensate all equally. Because sometimes, Kenneth, the perception may be that we're trying to one up you or something, but sometimes it's a woman is able to do something. Sometimes she's able to do it better, but because of the stigmas, we're not allowed to express that part. For instance, I was dating somebody and I was taught from an early age because I was very irresponsible I still am when it comes to cars, right? So my dad was always like, oh, this girl. They used to call me Crash Bandicoot. And I just, you know, I'm always catching flat tires and all of these things. So very early on, he taught me how to change a tire. And I was an expert at changing the tire. The only thing that I might need help with is, you know, getting the bolts on because, you know, I don't have as much strength as a man. But when it comes to especially the different, you know, depending on what car you have, the gadgets to use or whatever, like I can tell you, oh, this is how you do it, right? But you know how y'all are. Can't nobody tell y'all nothing. So Kenneth, do you think that maybe that it's possible that there's that kind of miscommunication? And I'm going to take into account too, because we're taking accountability today, ladies. Maybe it's the way that I say it. Maybe I'm not patient enough because I get frustrated with the first time you tell me, no, I can't, I need to step to the side. So taking all that into consideration, do you think that that's a possibility, that it's not the women trying to do better, but is sometimes you guys don't see that what our capability is because of gender roles? Kenneth?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to unmute myself. I feel like ultimately for me, it's like obviously, like you said, you were able to learn that skill and do different things, and you know what I mean, take care of yourself when it comes to that. But I feel like for me, it's always been the boasting part. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can do something, then do it and show me that you can do it. Let's both be proud of you that you can do it. But if you going around like, yeah, like I don't need a man because I can change my tire now, and you going around and you like slandering men because now you learned the skill and now you feel like you can do it better than us, then that defeats the purpose kind of, you know what I mean? Because if you do something and I uplift you, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell people like, hey, listen, bro, like I never thought, you know what I mean? Maybe I was closed-minded to it. Women could never do this, da, da, da. Apparently she's going around just, you know what I'm saying? She's doing the best she can everywhere. So, you know, that would be my portrayal of it. Not like, yeah, girl, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need these men. Like, you know, so I don't know. You know, it's a very mixed emotional type thing.
And we're going there in the conversation. And just one thing that I really want everybody in this space, as I'm listening to you, I'm hearing that you obviously had a misperception and now you kind of like, oh, you're getting used to the idea. Sometimes as you're processing things, it's looking differently to us. So now this happens. Do y'all get that? You receive that, Kenneth? You think it's possible that even though your intention is, oh, okay, she can do this, let's work together, it may come off differently? Or it may be the woman too who's taking it differently because she's used to being treated a kind of way. The point is that there's some miscommunication.
I agree with that one. Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
That's what we want to get down to today. So last session, oh, Chantel has her hand up. And let me know if anybody else too, or if we need to go to the chat or whatever. Let me check in.
No, I was just sharing, you said any men in here that do hair. And I also wanted to share, it's not just as a beautician, but it made me think of Amari, him and Anari now. He has to learn how to do her hair because Shamani's no longer with us, right? So you have single parents, single dads, where it's like you have to learn how to do something to her head or take her somewhere to get her hair done. And those are usually feminine responsibilities that the women take on. So, you know, having to be flexible because of what life throws at you and not because, you know, that's a woman's job. No, men are out there who learn it. My dad did try, and then I ended up at my grandmother's house, thankfully, but he tried. So, you know, you have to be flexible and adaptable. It's not just about those gender norms, but it's like, what do I have to do now because life has shifted?
Absolutely. You know, especially when it comes to the kids and when a parent passes away or there's divorce, the kids suffer sometimes because sometimes that parent is totally capable, but they won't because of gender norms.
Right.
You know, we suffered that in my family. Some of the kids went to go live with somebody else because it was like, oh, the man can't take care of her. And then that just caused so much turmoil and confusion when all the while he was totally capable of caring for her. So
peace and love. Peace and love. This is Baraka. This is my first time on this call. So thank you for having me. I would like to pose a little bit of a question. So respectfully, when the sister Martine first posed the question or topic subject for today, I listened to it and I'm trying to follow her. I couldn't read it, but it kind of sounded like, honestly, like you were kind of almost advocating for like trans rights. That's what it kind of sounded like to me. But then as the conversation started to evolve a little bit, I just wonder if maybe we should make a distinction between once you may be ideally, you know, married or in a you know, co-parenting type of situation, that the gender roles are not quite as important, because if there's things that got to get done, then they just got to get done. So if daddy got to wash the dishes and cook dinner and change diapers and put the babies to bed, then he's going to do that. And there's no even question as to his masculinity or manliness. And the same thing, like with the sister, the example you gave in terms of changing a tire. If a woman is driving and she gets a flat tire, she, you know, survival, she may need to change that tire if necessary, if she knows how to do it. But as a father of young ladies, I got to be honest, I'm a little concerned about the courting rituals that have evolved. And I think that the young people today are, well, first at a little bit of a disadvantage because everything has changed to virtual, right? But also the question of participating in a sort of a non-traditional gender role, it raises questions because, again, we live in an age where young people cannot necessarily identify the opposite gender just from looking, just from observing. So if you're participating in something or projecting a certain type of energy that may send mixed signals, it could put you in a position where you're left out. So I just wonder if you agree with that, or if that's a consideration.
Well, I mean, okay, first and foremost, what we're about to dive into, because this conversation evolved into something that I just lost control of, and I'm loving every minute of it. So we are definitely going to get all the way down to the family unit and the traditional family unit, but the original message, the toxic norm, and the change that I proposed, that really goes for anybody. And we're living in a world. I'm a person, this is how I function. I believe what I believe. I do what I do. And I know that I can only protect that by letting everybody else believe what they believe and do what they do. Does that get chaotic sometimes? Absolutely. But I have to worry about me and mine. Those statements are for anybody, transgender, whatever, because, even in those, in alternative relationships, you still have the masculine and feminine dynamics, right? But all of that doesn't even matter, because all I'm saying is you should be able to do whatever you're good at, regardless of your gender. That's the point at the end of the day. How we raise our kids, that's also individual. Those are individual choices. And, there's only so much we can control within this conversation. So to be clear, that's just all that I'm covering today. But you bring up a lot of points. I hope everybody heard you, because it's just something else to marinate on. Thank you, Baraka. I see Marilyn has her hand up. Good morning, Marilyn.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? Okay.
Well.
One point that I wanted to bring up. I am a preschool teacher. Very proud of it. I'm actually in my classroom right now. And I feel like when it comes to gender, and especially this field, one, men get kind of cut off for the most part. I don't know why. I wish that there were more male teachers involved in the education. I feel that children need that type of mentoring. They need to see that men are able to do it as well. But also when it comes to the parenting, there's so many activities that we do within the classroom that we always see that it's a female turnout. And sometimes we encourage the fathers, but there's other activities. It's like, oh no, the mom, it's always the mom. The mom has to do it, the mom. Like, why? Dads could come to a tea party and participate with their daughters or their sons. We have, they don't have to be part of only like the sports event. There's other things that we need to have fathers part of, whether it's an art activity, whether it's planting on the school grounds, something that kids could build a relationship with their father as well. The same way as when something happens at school, it's always call mom, call mom, call mom, call mom. Like maybe dad wants to be a part of that. Maybe dad wants to feel like he is completely involved in their child's education. Maybe dad wants to be part of parent-teacher conference. Maybe dad wants to be the hero for the day. Oh, your child is feeling sick. Can you come get them? But I don't know why it always tends to relying on mom always. And that's kind of also like for the moms sometimes need a break from that too. Moms have a job. Moms have things to do, and they're the ones that always have to put everything on hold because of the child. And I feel like that is one aspect that I've been doing this for about 12 years already, that I feel has never changed. And I try to do as many activities as I can and try to bring fathers in, like I try to bring mothers in. And it's just always, no matter how much I try to push, it just always ends up being a motherly thing. And I would like to that change, that father step in, invite the dad. It's okay. The dads could come in. We want to see them. We want to. And one of the activities that I did one year, actually, I invited nothing but fathers. I said, I'm sorry, this is a father's event. I want the fathers in. And the interaction that I saw with the children was far beyond what I expected. Every father sat in different areas with their own child. The conversations that went on, the connection that they were doing. It was amazing. Not once did a father take out their phone to check it. Now, when I had activities with the mom, yes, they talked to their kids, but then they talked to the other mothers, and then they were on their phone. And I was like, no, phone's off. You're with your child right now. So I wish and I hope, and I'm going to do more on my part to have fathers more involved, because we do need that, and the kids need that as well.
Well,
and I'm complete.
I was about to ask you if the fathers showed. So I'm glad to hear that they showed up.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yes.
surprise me. I wouldn't have guessed it, but it doesn't surprise me what you say, the dynamics between the mothers, because mothers are with their kids all the time, right? So they're
Yes.
gonna get distracted. So this will probably, uh, this was an opportunity for the men to connect. Well, the piece of advice that I would like to offer you is awareness. Make awareness, just like you had that event, have it again, but maybe have an event where both parents come in and you talk about just this, because men do need to understand how important they are. I have a nephew, he's in daycare, and he's thrived off of a new teacher who came in, not in daycare, I'm sorry, like it's an after school program. He's thriving off a new teacher who came in who's a male. And it's to the point where his mom was kind of like skeptical, like, is there something more going on? And I asked her,
Yeah.
are they in an open space? Because I mean, I do understand that too, but it's
Yes.
just because the change is so amazing and he always wants to be up under him. And I don't think men understand how much they're needed in these situations, especially when it comes to our kids. So thank you for bringing that in.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, so I heard the two men's hands are up. I see Andre. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I just, want to speak to Marilyn's point really quick. I think she brought up a really big point. When it comes to, first of all, like nurturing roles, teachers, roles in healthcare, I feel like, men are definitely underrepresented. And, when I think back to my pregnancy, our pregnancy, and our kids now in daycare, it's very mom focused. At the end of the day, the OB visits, the birth itself, postpartum, very mom centric, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, like the dads that are involved kind of feel left out. And as a dad that's very involved, there were times where I definitely felt left out. And when it comes to daycare, the first thought for the school is mom. It's if anything happens, call mom. The teacher actually called me the other day and she said she called me by accident, and it was like, oh, okay, you meant to call mom, but you called me by accident. So it just feels like societally, like it's just very mom centric. Everything is mom centric when it comes to child rearing and parenting. And I think it would be such a positive thing if, when dads are there and showing up and trying to be involved, that, that's recognized and acknowledged and kind of pushed, instead of just following the norm of what society is saying, that mom is the most important thing. So, there are active dads out here. There are dads that are really trying to be involved, but at the end of the day, it just feels very mom centric. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your honesty, your vulnerability. I agree with you. And I'm a nurse, and I know that is something that we're trying to change in healthcare, but we really need to hear your voices. So thank you.
May I say something?
Absolutely. Who am I speaking to?
This is Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
How you doing? So I actually had the honor of being a dean of students at Empower Charter School about 2 years ago. And I mean, I'm a fairly big guy. I'm like 6'2", and I don't want to point at the fact that I'm a Black man, but it felt like a lot of the time, whenever I had an idea, whenever I had something that the kids were a part of, or that I even had some of the staff on board with, I was silenced, or I was told, hey, not right now, or my budget was taken away from me, or I also had an incident where we actually it was so crazy. We had a meeting where all 4 charter schools came together, because it's like a 4-part charter school. And we all noticed that all the dean of students were all Black men, all 4 of us. We were so excited. We were like, yeah, we're going to change, we're going to change the face of these schools. And the kids loved us individually at all of our schools, respectively. And maybe a week later, they completely got rid of the role. So all 4 of us got let go. And I feel like the school was predominantly, how you say, ran by women, if you want to say, or employed by women. So it was like, as soon as I had an idea, it was like, or as soon as they noticed that the kids were like taking to me and taking to my image, or taking to the fact that I think naturally a man can come in sometimes and like kind of take a room if he's the right gentleman, so naturally. So I feel like when they see that and they notice that, they're going to cut that off immediately. They're going to cut off your wings because now you're giving this kid something to look up to, and they not, they in their generation or maybe their mindset, you're not anything to look up to, So
Now, let
as
me
as
stop you.
Miss Marilyn,
Let's be clear. Who is they? Just for
these
clarity.
specific people, or sometimes women. I think sometimes women will see, let's say it's like I said, a predominantly women ran office. If I were to come in there, that looks crazy to them. That, like, who is this guy? Who is this man? He's not about to run anything around here. You know what I mean? Most of the time, not all the time, and not with everyone. Then you might have one or two that'll advocate for you and say, yes, these children need a positive Black male role in their life, or they need a positive male role around. But I feel like a lot of the time, for people who are always screaming about gender roles or genders, in the workplace, they don't actually let the man prosper a lot of the time. Or maybe they're so used to, in argument's sake, maybe they're so used to having to take the responsibility, or maybe no one stepping up, or maybe in fear that someone won't do as good of a job, they won't even give you that time to try or show them that you can excel in that position.
How about fear that their position will be diminished because that's what their experience was? And, I'm just offering something because I feel, I want to get to the root of the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we're so in our feelings because we were slighted, not taking away from that. If we're not going to make anything better if we don't understand the why, right? Because a lot of times it's simple miscommunication. A lot of women, they went through a lot to get to where they are. And they will cut you down to stay there. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just offering, something else, just from what I know, what I see, and delving into conversation. What we do about it, I don't know, but this is why I want to have this conversation. And this is how my small topic, not that it was small, but I'm saying that because it evolved into something that I've truly lost control of. So yeah, these are the types of things that I want to discuss. So that's just what I offer you. I think that that's horrible. And that's why too, I really wanted you to specify who, because this could have also been a race thing, right? But if it was Black women doing that to Black men, we really need to find out why. We need to make a change, because look at how it affected you, right? Look at how it probably affected the children too. And sometimes we as women, our struggle was so much, we don't even think about the children. I will admit that, right? So thank you, Kenneth. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Chantel.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as someone who also works in a charter school, a lot of times the people who are the deans of culture, and that really means like how the students are acting and behaving in the school, and the tone of the school, there's usually the Black men, and those are like, from what I understand, it's like you're this aggressive masculine energy, you're going to get everybody in check, you can yell across the hallway and you hold authority in the space and things like that. So for the school I work for, we don't have women deans of culture. It's usually the men who are yelling, get back in line, go to class, this and that, where they feel like these young men and women don't have discipline or a male figure at home to dominate like that, and to raise their voices in the space. So it's also interesting to see that, like him, Ken, being a Black man and being in that space, and then now the kids are gravitating to you. There some kids in that space, they want discipline, they want structure if it's missing from home. So now I have this man, I don't have a father, this man who looks like me, he's giving me structure, he cares that I'm going to class and this and that. And you see the shift in the culture, which is what you wanted to see, and now you dismantle the whole structure of that. For whatever reason. But you find in those roles, even like CEOs and things like that, where there's a need for authority, you lean on the Black man because there's some type of fear in that in society. And we play off of that when we need to.
Right. So it's almost using them as a tool too.
Yeah, like the security guards are Black men, But how many teachers do we have that are Black men? And then, you know, the Black men are the deans of culture to reprimand, but how many of them are in the classroom? You like we said, that nurturing side of things. So we use it to our advantage. Yeah, I'm complete.
Thank you, Chantel. Quasi, you still want to say something?
I can wait. I can bring it back in a minute.
Okay, Shawnee.
Yeah, Chantel actually went there. I had typed it in the chat and then she echoed my thoughts. I'm like, what are we perpetuating when we have brothers, specifically Black Latinx men that come into the school space? And it's so rare to have them there. I've seen it so much because I've done contracts in schools. I have a son, you know, who's 17, and just going into the schools. And it's like, why are they selecting brothers to be the deans? And even in schools where there are not brothers per se, went to a school my son used to go to, and it was a Latinx man that was the dean of students. I'm like, what are we perpetuating when we're like, oh, this person can get them in line, this person can check them, this person can suspend them. And first of all, with the school to prison pipeline, which targets Black boys and Latinx boys, then we have the executioner be a Black male or a Latinx male. I'm like, it perpetuates these tropes and these toxic norms that don't serve us. And it's like, oh, we don't want you in the classroom. We don't want your feedback. We don't want your nurturing, like Andre was declaring, because he's a nurturing father. And many brothers that I know, Kamal, Amari, Kojo, like very present, nurturing fathers. But it's like when we get you in the space, we want to treat you like you are the overseer. I think that's so disrespectful, and it perpetuates white supremacy culture, and it doesn't serve our children to have this image of a man. I think it's great that they're present, but to have it be like they're present to check you and to impose sanctions on you is a very slippery slope.
Thank you. Perspective. I'm going to say that all throughout here, just getting the different perspectives. Because too, I don't know, Kenneth, how you're feeling about all of this, but maybe you were just a tool too, unfortunately.
Oh no, I was actually trying to figure out how to work this phone. Yes, I was about to say, hearing her say it like that, that has definitely been one of my thoughts. You know, after you lose the job and after you sit here and you're like wondering why, because you know, your intention, right? It's all about your intention for me. You know what I mean? Like if I defend myself, you know, and I go to court, unfortunately I had to defend myself. It was my intention to stay alive. You know, I didn't, you know, maliciously hurt this man, but I get what she's saying, because now it's like that kind of brought me to kind of like, I don't want to say specifically the Django, but like Samuel L. Jackson's role in the Django. Like people were very upset about that, you know, because, you know, it kind of looked like he was siding with master and trying to be like the disciplinary, and you know, so I understand what she's saying in that. So I agree. I definitely think it's about intention, though. But she's definitely resonated with that. I resonated with that. Excuse me.
Yeah. So let's see if we can get to the root of this, because I don't know, in the women in the space, I'm starting to see where we can be kind of abusive a little bit. Where's that coming from? Where is it coming from? Quasi, come on. Before we move on, let's hear from you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Something I wanted to say earlier was this line of like, so me and my child's mom, we live in different houses. So you know, he lives with her. So when he's with me, I am a little bit more focused on him, just off the strength that I don't see him as much. So in some ways, you know, I get a lot of credit for being a good dad because people see me with him and things like that. But I'm not with him all the time. So you know, I got enough energy to be with him when I'm with him. So sometimes when he's with her, you know, she's distracted, but I know she's with him so many other hours of the day. She probably just needs that time to herself. And then also I noticed too, sometimes I feel like there'd be two different types of women that I see. It'd be either women who think that men are garbage and they don't want to have nothing to do with men. And then there'd be another group of women who recognize the importance of having men in the space, But then sometimes I feel like they also be enabling me, at least. Maybe not every man, but like they so eager or excited that a man in the space, they really just be forgiving man for all of the shit that they be doing. And it is really, we do be the problem, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, 8 times out of 10 from what I've experienced. And even in the sense of like, I might think I'm doing a good job, or I had to talk with a group of men yesterday about how we were conducting ourselves in a co-ed space. And one of the dudes, he was really on some like, well, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. That's not me. But the truth was, we was all letting each other do whatever, you know? So I think that speaks to like, even if we're like the quote unquote good guy or whatever, if we don't check all of the bad guys, we really, you know, it don't really matter. Cause, you know, one good guy don't move as much, you know, like, especially like if you come on this call, you probably a good guy, you know, you woke up, you doing this, but then we got all these other men that we talk to every day. And it's just, I think that's where the real change can happen, is when we don't let shit slide, like in the locker room or wherever we're at like that. So that's all I wanted to say. Like, I do be appreciating how a lot of women be real supportive of Black men. And I feel bad that like, it feels like you got to be that supportive just to keep us around. And then sometimes it'd be more than what it is, I think. You know, it'd be like extra nice, but it's like, no, we're not doing that well. Like, we doing all right, but we're not doing the best. But I know if you tell a man he not doing the best, it might prevent them from wanting to come in certain spaces. So we got to be extra kind or whatever. But yeah, that's basically what I want to share.
All right. Well, you know, we may be easing y'all in, but we not sugarcoating nothing up in here, Quasi. Quasi, how old are you?
Me, I'm 28.
28. All right. Quasi, I really appreciate what you just said. I'm floored. I don't know if y'all heard all of that. Let me break it down for you, what I heard. And if I'm missing something, I don't want to misrepresent you, Quasi. You stop me. You unmute yourself and you stop me. The first thing I heard is that Quasi respects the role of a mother, and he understands that because she is with the child more of the time, she's not going to appear how he appears. He has more energy, maybe even a little guilt. He's giving his all when he's with his child. And that to some people looks really good, and maybe the mom sometimes gets a bad rap, but he recognizes that it's because we can't, you know, I always tell people, you know, you have the dynamic where the dad comes in and he's the disciplinarian. The women sometimes can get a little jealous because they're like, well, how come they listen to him but not to me? It's because they have more instances with you. The more weakness you show a child, the more advantage they're going to take of you. They're little, very smart humans. They have less instances with dad. Dad is more consistent with putting that smack down, maybe, right? So, I mean, it's simple. And for you to be 28 and to be able to verbalize that, oh, child, you're giving me chills. I wish you was older, Quasi. Hold on. Okay, wait. Then he said that sometimes when we're supporting our men, we enable, and maybe it's to keep them in the womb. That's what you said, Quasi?
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. What else did y'all hear him?
One thing that he said,
I'm
sorry. One thing that he said I think needs to be on a t-shirt is one good guy does not move as much. And he said that right. One good guy don't move as much. That's right. They need to be multiples. So go ahead, young brother.
That part. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I'm just so in my emotions right now. I forgot all of it. One thing that I want to say, Quasi, you talked about a group of men that you're in. I don't know if Jerry is in the space, Jerry Harlan. One thing I know that there's not enough of, but some of the men that are in my life are these men's group that they have. I don't really know what they are. It's not like the Masons or nothing like that, but like men's groups where especially the elders are holding the young people accountable. And it's not even only that, the young people are teaching the elders, like such beautiful exchanges, dynamics that I think we in our community especially really, really need. Men in general, you know, to hold each other accountable. So thank you for bringing all that into the space, Quasi. Like I said, this always, look, we're already at 7:48, 6:48 Houston time. Whoo, part 2A coming.
I don't even know why I put my hand up after Quasi spoke, because it's all still, I'm trying to figure so many things out. Thank you. Thank you for all of what's being shared here. And I love seeing this many brothers here. I'm gonna share from my unique purple position. One being a daddy's girl raised with brothers, right? So there was a way I was moving in the world, very comfortable with men and comfortable socializing with men. And when I mean socializing, I mean not dating, right? Like based upon my interests, whether it be, my dad socialized me interested. So if my brother got a water gun, I got a water gun, and he got me a bigger one, right? If my brother got a remote control car, he got me a remote control truck so I could smash all the guys on the block. So that right there is some interesting strategic thing my father did without realizing. And he was trying to counter how much he felt like he was teaching me some gender roles, right? So I know I grew up in a non-traditional house, but what that looked like is I was very comfortable at the basketball court or walking around the block. And what it did is often have me be the only female around. So guys would forget I'm around. And I got to really listen how they talk about girls and women. So I would put my sisters, D, when they would have different conflicts with their boyfriend in high school, I'd always be at the table like, look, what you don't understand, he's saying. What you don't get, he's saying, right? So I think there's something in the socialization that Kwasi's hitting on, right? Who is the dominant voice and personality in male groups? And how the other men acquiesce to align with that one so they're not, quote unquote, attacked, picked on, judged. So those quote unquote nice guys, which were always my preference, in a sense, submit, from my view, to that other guy. And that other guy starts to influence aspects of characteristics of other brothers. And so in their large group dynamic, they present that more, and it becomes a habit pattern. And it's inauthentic. Now, some of the nicer guys, they start to drift away and stay away from that. But I just watched the multiplying from that one or two dude who's a jerk. And then the few around amplify that part of them that's not even them and get, to me, almost like method acting. They get stuck in that character. And it's around that middle school time, then the high school, and then forget about what gets amplified in college. Right? And you think about, for those of us who went to school, how a brother might look freshman year and how he might look senior year. The physical transformation of some of the, I'll say, those guys who floated around the dominant personality. Because the jerk, we already know it's the jerk.
I know we're talking about men, but you don't think that that's a human thing?
I think we socialize different. I think 10-year-olds is where girls become tamed. And I love this book called Untamed. And girls start also becoming inauthentic, but smalling down those outward expressions, where men's outward expressions, or boys' outward expressions, start to get enabled and amplified around that same time. Also, sports. How many boys, right, working as an arts educator, love moving and dancing, and then around middle school, what some boys say to others about dancing, or what being cool, and they start getting stoic and disconnected to their body. And then they start trying to be in sports a lot because of the props you get when you're an athlete. Or in order to socialize and be around other boys. Sometimes it's in order to play, you gotta play sports. Or you gotta know the popular game. And let's look at when the game came out. What was the one? Grand Theft Auto. Let's look at Grand Theft Auto first and second one, where literally girls would get slapped, women would get hit. And they had the games are contributing to it too. And so if boys don't know the new game or the latest game and can't play the newest game, they can't participate in those conversations the same way. So they gather, and if you look at the parties, right, we used to dance together. Look at how many young men dancing around each other. There's not even looking. And so the girls are outside watching until a guy selects a girl to come in, and the ratio of how many boys are around to the girl. Like it started to socially shift, even in the rap videos, where there were quote unquote video vixens, right? There's less, if you really look at rap videos, there's less showing women. Now it's more exploitative when you show a woman, but a lot of time it's guys around guys and boy toys, right? So there's something in the socialization that what Kwasi is hitting on, where to me the disruption and interruption is tough. I want to hear what men think right now about how young men are carrying on right now in these streets. Because I feel like I never believed we lost young people, and this is not a man thing, right? But if the mother was the one that had the discipline, or the single mother, then the amount of resentment going on towards women also started, like that picture you showed, right? The woman falling on top of the child, when that's a male child, the resentment, the anger, and the hurt. And then how that shows up, because as a woman who goes into different classrooms around the states and the country, I can tell sometime if a boy is mad at his mother, but soon as day one, if I look anything like his mother, his reaction to me is an overreaction. And I have to be gentle and loving and not take it personal, but also let him know, like, how, or find out how does he want love to look? Because love at that point can feel like hate, and that can amplify the resistance, right? And so it's really something to watch it in that middle school phase.
Okay. Thank you so much, Purple. That was a lot. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Perspective. Okay. It is 7:56. I know some of y'all have to go to work. Please, if y'all are leaving, we're about to drop some links up in here. You can watch this playback if you join the Facebook private group, Wake Up Everybody. Let's keep this going. I know it's early and I know we can't do it every day, but let's just do our part because we need to have these conversations. You can register and you can find out who the next facilitator is, and just come to what appeals to you. Come to all of my sessions, okay, please. We have something that's called love offerings. You know, money makes the world go around, and we like to put our money where our mouth is. There are different options for that. It's all up in the chat. My contact information is there. Let's partner up. I want to partner up with some fellas because I really want to grow this conversation. Already within this hour and a half that it's supposed to be is bigger because we're running so over time. That being said, I'm going to hear from Kevin and Keith, and then we're going to move on to I don't know what yet, because I'm going to have to get my life together, because y'all just, my whole presentation is just, all right? But Ashe, I'm grateful for it. I'm so grateful for it. Thank you for showing up. All right. Kevin.
Martine.
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I know you mad over time, so I'm gonna make this quick. I was this session has been so powerful. There's so many things I want to talk to, but it's just like, this definitely has to be a part 2, part 3. Maybe it's a series. I don't know. Maybe do it for 6 months. You know, as much as I have seen over the years, you know, I have raised, you know, 2 daughters. We have raised 2 daughters, you know, and one, I have never felt non-appreciated. I have never felt, you know, not looked up to as leadership. I have been in every space with my kids. I have always looked up to as a person that was like, oh, well, let's call dad, you know, whatever. But I also think that's not due to just me. It's been because it's been such a partnership and dependence on this co-leadership, you know? And I've been purposeful about being in every space that the kids have been in also too. Like every school, every daycare, every program, every contract, every performance, you know, I have purposely been there. And even at times to deflect any type of like, you know, I was always really concerned about, you know, boys trying to take advantage of them in schools, or even like some type of like maybe very irresponsible teacher. But just even my presence being in the building, that's I'm not a staff person there, gives a second check to somebody else. But I owe that to a passing of the baton of like, well, let me check in with their dad. Or you know what, when you call, just call their dad and let me know later. Because there was a general sort of like go to mom time, but I just completely ignored all that shit. Just on the real, I just ignored it. I mean, you know, one profound moment when they were like really small, like I had like, it was either Sundari or Shahadi, like they was in the carrier and I was at a performance and somebody said to me, oh, you're on you babysitting tonight? And I just thought that was so wild. I was like, nah, like, these are my kids. I'm not babysitting. Like, that's for somebody else. Like, that's not me. Like, they with me tonight. That's all it is. And even in that moment, they were like, oh, word, you're right. And so even to think about, like, what Purple mentioned, and what the other brother mentioned, like, you know, just being able to check another dude when the space is wow. Like, nah, dude, like, I don't agree with that. Like, that's been something that's been real too. And that, you know, when it speaks to just the young brothers of where we are today and how our young brothers are and how we're sort of inadvertently raising them to be separated, but then still the expectation that you're separated from this expected leadership or dependency, or like we need you as part of the culture, part of the fabric on how we're raising this next generation of boys to men is so necessary, but coming away from it is being purposeful. So there's a lot to say in there, and I just wanted to add that to the conversation of just like I've just been a part of the fabric of every step purposefully, and I just ignored all that bullshit with anytime I've seen anything about, well, we'll call mom. Like I just chose not to see it. Like, no, I'm right here. It's all right. We can handle it. That's it. And I thank you for this conversation.
Thank you, Kevin. Good to see you again. Now, listen, one thing that I always say is sometimes we are creating our own misery. Sometimes it's the circles that we're in, the environment that we chose to be in. So your experience, it could be a mixture of you blocking stuff out, but maybe you just have I don't know how to say without sounding, you know, a higher quality pool of people around you, you know? I mean, that's a reality that I had to face. And I know coming into this spirit of a woman world, that was my goal, was to add to, first it was to change my circle, then it was to add to my circle, you know, because I was putting myself in spaces that were not serving me. And that goes for friendships, dating, you know, we don't realize how much power we have in shaping our experience sometimes. So thank you for that. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, yes. So definitely the conversation is a very good one. Is very enlightening. I just wanted to say something in regards to the first portion of the presentation, which was the gender roles. And I feel like me being a person who worked with children at a point, and now hearing what everybody said is just very moving to get to a place where there are more father figures, at least in a Black and Latino community, that's present now. But I also ran across a lot of children, right, who felt like once they get to a certain age and they sort of figure out their way, they lose the respect of the elder because they feel like, I'm already figuring things out now. I don't need your help. So a lot of the times when it comes to, this is males per se, right? So the young boys, like Purple was saying, like about dancing and stuff like that. Boys dance because they're in circles that is cool. Even if you listen to the rap now, like the drill and all of this other stuff, they're dancing, they're twirling, they're doing splits, they're bouncing around, they're dancing. And what it is that it's more about the influencer, right? Who's the popular person around? Who's the bold person around? Who's the person of leadership that's around those individuals that generate the attention of the youth. And a lot of times what's happening is this. You have either men who are successful but disconnected. That's a whole nother topic. You know, they tell you if you get a good career, move out the hood, you know, you can't stand the hood or whatever the case may be. But then who's the influencer now? the person who's educated, who read books, who went to college, who got a degree, who own their own business, once they move, the influencer now is the alternative, basically. I'm not gonna, shun nobody and what they do, but basically it's an alternative individual that's present, that's now the person that's of influence. And what we have to do is we getting better as men of just staying connected and being better fathers and being present. I think that women have been mistreated a lot. So a lot of the situation that's going on right now is really not about gender roles. It's more about there are a lot of women who just choose because regardless how much a men want to dress up and try to mac or whatever, it's always the woman's choice to choose who they're gonna like and who they dislike. And unfortunately, we as human beings, we like things that we can't have. So a lot of times women choose men who are usually no good for them, or who presents this picture that makes them feel like, oh, this is the storybook situation that I want, or I can fix them, and it turns out to be toxic. Or it's men who feel like I have to overcompensate with multiple partners or trying to do whatever I want in regards to how she may feel, because of the fact that I need to feel like a person in this space. I need to be valued in this space. And society has told me that as men, that as long as you have money, as long as you are brave and courageous, that women will come and then you get the pick of the litter. So not to go on a tangent, but pretty much I just say that as men, I see more fathers around. I see more educated Black men and Latino men around. So that's a good thing. But as far as when it comes to relationships, it's not about the role you play. It's about, can you complement, and do you have what it takes to have the patience and the compassion to uplift a person when they're down? Because it's easy to be with people when they're doing good. It's easy to be with somebody when they got a good job, when they got a good mental health on their shoulders, when they can dress well, when they're presentable. But what happens when a person loses their job? What happens when a person's not in a good mental space? What happens when a person, like let's say a male, don't know how to change a tire? How do you communicate with this individual to make them feel like, listen, we're still a team. I just know how to do this and you don't, but I'm gonna show you how to do it, or I can't show you right now, but I have to do it now because we have to get it done. But we can conversate and I'm gonna still find a way to uplift and present this information to you so that you won't feel less than, and vice versa for the men and for the women. And that's pretty much what I just wanted to say.
All right, and let me reel that back in, and you cover so much. And like I said, this conversation had evolved. But one thing that I want to make sure that you're clear on, even the dynamics that you're talking about. I guess one of the things that I could say about the beginning of the conversation and the roles, what I want to see is people focusing more on individuality. And sometimes the bumping of heads that you're talking about is simply because those two people aren't supposed to be together. We're not even taught who to choose, why to choose. You understand what I'm saying? This conversation goes so deep. And my ultimate goal, believe it or not, right? Because these conversations, we can have them in a space with all different types of cultures, all different races, right? But I'm focused on the Black family, right? Because there are specific things that we are bringing up that pertains to us, right? And that's my ultimate goal, is to salvage the Black family. I cannot stand our single mother rates. I can't. And now you have a rise in single fatherhood, because these women, guess what? They are not taking it anymore. They're not sitting there watching your kids 24/7 anymore. Statistically, right? I would say in my personal life, I was dating online. The amount of single fathers I met, I could not believe it. I'm talking, when I say single father, I'm talking about that child primarily lives in their household. And usually you would hear that because the woman is in jail, she's on drugs. No, the woman is out living her life. And women are just not taking it anymore. So that's a perfect introduction of what we're about to get into. Can you guys bring up poll number 2? We're going to do a quick poll. I want to hear from Love Is, and then we're going to close out with, because we real kumbaya right now. I'm going to ask y'all to stretch. I'm going to go to what would have been closer to the end of my conversation because obviously we're going to have a part 2. So admin, cue up poll number 2. Love is love. Talk to me. Thank you so much.
Martine, real quick, before we go into the poll, can you explain what focus on individuality means, what you mean by that?
Okay, so what I mean by focus on individuality, my name is Martine Lissa Malivers. Y'all see me, my hands? Listen, I don't like makeup. Like this is as most as you will get. Fresh face, like I can't do it. I don't like the lashes. I am a heterosexual female. What they say, strictly, right? But I'm a little bit of a tomboy, you know? I like to fix things, especially. I argue with my father all the time because he thinks he can fix stuff better than me, but he knows that he can't. Individuality. I should be able to do that, right? I should be able, you know, now I'm flexible. Don't get me wrong, because you have, like I said, Keith, you got to know who you're with, right? Some men are like, don't touch that car door. Some men are like, don't touch that garbage can. I can be flexible in that. But if the refrigerator is broken, you have me with spoiled food all week and I know I can fix it, bro, move out the way, okay? Now that, I don't feel like that makes me less of a woman. Also too, child, I love me a man who could cook. You wanna know why? Not because I can't cook, because I don't like to cook. It is my absolute, I grew up Caribbean. They kill the damn meat 75 times. It takes 7 days for you to get a meal. I'm not doing all that. I'm traumatized because I watched women work 12 hours, take care of kids and do that cooking. I don't want to do it. That's what I mean by individuality. Respect me for me. If you can't get with that, Keith, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't say I'm bumping heads. Maybe we're not meant to be together. If you want to eat all day, you want a woman to cook and bring you your food, that's what you need to get with. That's what I believe. I don't know, elders, you tell me something differently. People get, you know, depending on your culture and your beliefs, get married for different reasons, but that's what I mean by individuality. We clear? Chantel, what you think?
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that.
Love is love.
Blessings, family.
Blessings.
Blessings to you, Queen, and blessings to everybody else, all the kings and queens that's on this session as well. I just wanted to give my experience really quick as far as, you know, the agenda with genders, you know, as far as with men and women as well. Me personally, I feel like, I'm not too familiar, of course, you know, I'm still going through my journey as well of becoming a man. But as far as, you know, my journey of my adolescent journeys, I feel like my father, he was definitely present. He was a provider. I learned a lot from him, you know, but I feel like as far as the like everybody said, you know, the fearful presence, it was there. The intimate presence was definitely lacked. You know, my mother, on the other hand, she definitely played both sides, the intimate as well as the fearful presence. But I feel like with my father, the intimate presence could have been, like everybody said, with being able to pass on a knowledge or pass on a skill, you know, to make the individual more stronger and more valuable, you know, whether it's a man or a woman. But I just wanted to agree to the fact that there is a shift that's happening at the moment. Before, as I was coming up, me personally, I feel like the intimate relationship with my father, you know, even in the household, it just wasn't there as much. And I feel like now just being more vocal to my parents about it, they're kind of understanding where I come from. It was just more so do this, do that, versus trying to understand and trying to build and grow, you know, trying to fully teach you and guide you into becoming an individual and a strong man into the world. But I feel like I do agree that there is a shift. I do see a lot of men, you know, with their children, whether or not they're with the women that they were with. But I do see a lot of men with their children and they're taking care of their responsibilities. So I feel like there is a shift that is occurring at the moment. And yeah, I'm complete.
Thank you. Yeah. And you know, I think that so you said that in your personal relationship with your father, it was lacking and then it changed, but because you were vocal, because that's the thing that I think we need too. We need communication. We need to be vulnerable. We need to be able to talk to each other. We need to be able to say what we need. All right. And on that note, I'm going to share a piece, but we're going to do a poll really quickly. All right. Because there's going to be a part 2, right? I want y'all to fill out the poll. And then guys, I want you to put in the chat who invited you, okay? And I want y'all to promise me that you're gonna come back for part 2. I'm gonna see what dates are. I was not going to do a session in June because I felt like I needed a break, but I'm gonna see what dates are available in June, and then I'll get back to you. But we need to have your information so we can get back to you, because this is a beautiful thing. I asked the community to bring the men in, and they did. All right, can we bring up the poll? And guys, while we're doing that, please drop in the chat who invited you. Now, this is a 2-question poll, very simple. I just want to see where we're at romantically in the space. I really wanted to get more into gender roles, get more into how fathers are stepping up, get more into just in general, men are so secure in their manhood that they're able to take on jobs that were traditionally for women. So next time we'll cover all of that. But I want us to stretch, because we just too kumbaya. I need, a little provocation. All right. So 2-question poll, romantically, I just want to see who's married and who's not. Now, that doesn't mean if you're not happily married. If you found marriage and you are currently married, that's what I want to know, yes or no. And then so that you guys, so admin knows too, and then we're gonna jump to the video.
All right. And Martine, you want them to share who invited them and if they're married or singles in the chat?
The poll
Oh,
number
poll?
2. Mm-hmm.
I can't locate the poll.
I don't think they brought it up yet.
Shawnee, do you have the poll?
Oh, we're doing number 2? Okay, no problem. Sorry about that, y'all.
Well, while they're doing that, let me just give a few disclaimers. We're about, okay, wait, it's up. Oh, it's showing results, Shawnee. Can you launch it again? Or I don't know, can anybody see the questions?
I can see the question, but it's, like you said, it's
Yeah, you
showing us
can't answer
results
them
as opposed to us being able to choose an answer.
Got it. We might just need to relaunch it, Shawnee.
Okay, I see it. It should be quick and easy, guys. Everybody who can, let us know if you can't see, especially if you're on your phone. Sometimes you have to scroll somewhere else.
Done.
Okay, how's the poll looking? Admin.
You have 71% who have responded.
71%. Last time we were at 80. Come on.
73 now.
Come on, people. It's 2 questions, even if you're at work, go sneak.
You trying to cause people to lose their job, Martine. 78, baby. 81. We're at
Talking
81.
about I got fired because I was listening to Martine.
Right? Because you're going to act like you don't know. Though. We're at 81%. You want to end it?
81%.
Yep.
That's higher than last time. Going once.
Or do
going
people
twice.
need more time? Or are you just not going to answer?
All right, we're going to end it. We're going to end it because we're at 7:18. And baby, we about to get into it.
Martine's going to throw everybody on the East Coast off with her time and text.
Oh, sorry. I mean, 8:18. I forgot.
Ooh, I got another hour.
Y'all. All right. So we are mostly unmarried in here, which is what I thought. Okay. So let's get to the root of it. We're gonna address this romantically, and then next time we just gonna go back and try to and like somebody said, I think Kevin said it, we may have to have part 3, 4, 5 of this series, and that's all right. That's all right, right? Because we're trying to work it out. It's not a race, it's a marathon. Y'all ready? Admin, you ready with the video? Oh, disclaimer. Please forgive me. You're gonna hear a lot of racial slurs, my Latinas. I'm sorry, but we're being authentic, we're being honest. Okay. Some things just need to be said. We need to expose ourselves, to expand ourselves, as Shawnee would say. And then we're just going to talk about it. Okay. We're going to use the N word. I don't know if, I'm a Q-tip type of person, I'm a type of person. So, y'all ready? Forgive me in advance, but we're going to talk about this. Angry Black woman perspective.
It's playing, Martine.
Thank you. Is it though? It's loading?
Loading.
Okay. But I see that it's playing. Wait for it to load. And fellas, I need to hear from you about this. Think about words. It's playing?
Yes.
What the fuck did you think would happen? No, really. What the fuck did you think would happen? Since the early 90s, y'all have been out here running amok, promoting the beauty of others, telling us why we aren't good enough, using us, leaving us when you find success, leaving us alone with your kids. I may not have wrote half your raps, but I put them clothes on your back. But now I ain't good enough. Fast forward, nigga. Now we're on the rise. We used to be the most undesirable. You had them white girls and miras all up in your videos. But now we the shit. Not only do they want our tint, but also our lips, asses, and hips. But before, you sat back and let them call us ugly. You sat back and let them call us angry. The angry Black woman. Well, why the fuck were we so angry, huh? Bet you didn't tell them that. You sat back and let them call us ugly with their studies and baby doll tests. You even sat back and let them say that we are the ugliest and the sassiest. Now, we already know how everyone feels about a woman being sassy and ugly, right? Well, nigga, I don't need you. Go ahead on and say it. The strong Black woman is emasculating you. Emasculating. Nigga, where you learn such fancy words? We are the downfall of the Black family. Whatever. Well, my children are good. They are clothed, fed, and loved. I can open my own door, pull out my own chair, make my own money. I can pay for my own house, my nails, and my hair. I'm focused on my bag. What role you gonna play? Listen, I don't need you, not even for some dick. Half y'all gay anyway.
Let's all take a moment to breathe.
Believe it or not, it hurt me to read that, okay? Believe it or not.
Yes, these are not the words of Martine Malivers.
Well, that's not all the way true.
Right. And Martine, you practiced in the mirror this week, didn't you?
Sure did. Had to be like, can you do this? Can you do this? You know, I did feel that way at some point, you know, different times and all. This actually I pieced from conversations with my girlfriends. Evolution, you know, evolution is not always good, right? From feeling slighted to being like, you know what? We're gonna get a mansion, you're gonna be on one wing, you're gonna be another wing, I'm gonna be with my cats. Fuck these niggas. Just being honest. Checking in with my brothers. I want to hear from my brothers. Okay. Tell me instantly your reaction. Give me 3 words to describe how you feel. Cheryl and Dave. That's Cheryl. Our Cheryl.
That's me, and my husband wanted to speak. So here
Come on, hubby.
Good morning, Wake Up community. Thanks for having me on. And I just want to say I was enjoying the program up to this point. And I think that we just took a dive in terms of our positiveness in our relationship with each other. You know, I've saw videos like this, 10, 20 years ago where the Black man was criticizing the Black women because of her love for materialism and wanting the Black man to produce and take care of her and so forth and so on. So we continue to go back and forth with each other, and that's the dynamic that, it's stifling us. And I also want to address the whole idea of this conversation based upon our individualism, how we are all personalizing what we're going through, as the Black community, and we don't have a basic value. Okay, we have many values. If it's in education, if it's in the home, the love of our children, our marriage, economics, we have to come to some standard, all of us, and to have a value system that affects all of us that we can relate to, not just from an individual standpoint. What I mean is that when we looked at this video, the sister said she doesn't need us because she can produce for herself. And that's always been the goal for a lot of us. We want to assimilate into the greater society. And they continue to window dress us. They've given us everything. They've given us presidents, vice presidents, governors, millionaires, mayors. They continue to make us believe that we can totally assimilate into the greater society. And, we have to see that they're rooted, their forefathers have them rooted in the society and in the privilege that we are looking at. And we don't have that same root, okay? We're a different people and we're come from a different circumstance. And that's where we have to find where we relate to each other on those bases, okay? And have a value system, based upon our progress and who we are. And I just think that the conscious community over the years have shown us a lot and have given us a lot of information, okay? And we've just not dealt with it, okay? We continue to blame each other. What small progress we've made. For an example, I hear us talking about the Black man who wants to be used to be outspoken in the schooling system and how they use him, the Black female wants him to step up, but does he have a voice in his home? Does he have an authority? Is he an authoritative figure in his home? One of the things that's a problem that I find is that a lot of Black women don't trust having a Black male authority in their home. Okay, so there's a lot of dynamics that, we can always touch on and speak on And it gets confusing because we're not focused. We don't have a focus and a value system that we can all speak to and say, yes, this is what we need. This is what we need to do. And forget about our individualism and what we want, but what we want is for the future of our children. And we don't have that. We still want that dream. We still want to assimilate into the greater society. So we have to make a decision. Am I going to sacrifice myself for my children seriously, or am I just going to do the best that I can and just make it through? And the second aspect of that is what I see that we're doing today. We're just, hopefully we're making it through. That's what we're doing. But it's not a collective consciousness. And so we have conversations like this, and listening to it, it's like, it's just too much. It's just too much. I'm trying to be as positive as I can, but
let me address some of the things, okay, especially in respect to time, Leon, if I can. One of the things I didn't want to do with this session is to have everybody leave feeling good, and then most people won't come back. We do this over and over and over again, right? The theme for this week is roots. Let's get to the root of the problem. Now, I don't know who's brave enough to say it, but I'm sure some women may feel, and it's one of the questions that I wanted to ask them, and ladies, drop this in the chat. If you feel 100% like that piece, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like you agree with some of it, put a 2 in the chat. And if you totally disagree, put a 3 in the chat. And let's see. And if you're not brave enough to do that, ladies, private message me, because let's just gauge the room. Because one thing that I don't want to do is fluff and walk over our issues. Okay? Now, I don't feel this way 100% today. I'm more hopeful because, again, I changed my circle. It probably was the circles that I was running in, because as much as we can uplift you today, and somebody said, Quasi said, I think, the men who probably logged on today are probably the good men, right? And that may be true. Hopefully it's not, right? But we cannot take away from the woman's experience. We can't. Now, each guy who's about to speak, let's try to keep it short because it's 7:30, right? But I want you to give me 3 words, right? Your first initial reaction to how you felt when you heard this, right? And then I want you to dig deep, because that's what I'm asking of everybody today. Let's honor each other's perspective and experiences, right? I want you to dig deep. And even if this doesn't pertain to you and you've been dealt a bad hand, right? Try to understand where this voice is coming from. Why would she say that? And come up with 3 words that show empathy and understanding. All right, can we try to do that, fellas? And then you can say whatever else you have to say. Y'all got that? 3 words for your initial reaction and 3 empathetic, loving, and understanding words. Because this could be your little sister. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody where these things said affect you. And this could be your little sister because as a result of watching you. Let's be honest and authentic. Come on, Leon, what you got for me? Ooh, look at that face. Come on, Leon, you on mute. That's God telling you, think before you speak.
Hello, good morning. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me about the mute. And my apologies. I'm new to the space. I came in late. But basically, I don't really believe in, I'm not sure what to say as far as the positive language. I don't really think it's necessary. But what my thoughts are, it's unfortunate that some folks do feel like that. However, you really can't save everyone, and that person with that attitude, like as you said before, that just isn't a person you should be choosing, or any wise person should be choosing. And as far as your role in society, I feel you choose the role. Power's not given, it's taken. So step in, go 10 toes down, and make a lane.
Okay, so Simple. How did you feel? Give me 3 words of your initial reaction.
Sorry?
3 words to describe your initial reaction when you heard it.
I can't really think of anything, to be honest. It was confusing because I don't understand the context. And if I don't know if it's a real person, it just seemed contrived.
Okay. So again, because I think somebody was asking who wrote this. I wrote this. I wrote this week after doing all of this work, and it took me back, right, to the 90s when I started to really date, and conversations that I had. So it's peace from the angry Black woman, the ones in my life, their perspective. It's all of us together, right? It's peace because I do feel, and if you look at the chat, I asked whoever totally agrees with this, 1. If you agree with some of it, 2. There's a lot of 2s in there. All right, fellas, this is the women being honest with you. And this is why I'm saying we need to talk about this. I've evolved from this, but this is somebody's voice. So I'm asking you to try to understand. You know who you are, but you don't know Ray Ray on the corner who had 10 baby mamas, just ruining lives. Now I'm saying that loosely because we can only allow a person to do to us what they do to us, right? But you don't know that type of man that maybe this woman has encountered. I'm not saying it's not her fault, but right now having empathy, love, understanding, honoring her experience.
I understand, but I'm not there are, as a community, Black people have, as you know, we've all undergone a lot of trauma. We can't save everyone. There are a lot of damaged and twisted
I'm not asking
souls
you
out
to
there.
save her. I'm asking
You
you
can
to honor
only
her,
be
her
the
trauma right
model
now.
for the behavior that you'd like to see. So if you run into this person, there's not really much you can do.
Listen
You
to my
can't save
question.
this person.
Listen to my question. I'm not asking you to save her.
Yeah,
I'm asking you
and that's how I respect it. I respect it. I have to acknowledge where it came from. It's not. I don't internalize it. I don't say, "Oh, this is all Black people."
Okay.
This is just yes.
No, I'm listening to you. Can you hear me?
I can't. I'm sorry. You broke up. You froze.
No, I said I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Repeat the question. Repeat the request. Maybe I didn't hear it because you froze.
I was listening to you. I didn't make a request.
No, I couldn't hear you froze. I couldn't hear your request.
You're asking him to show empathy for her experiences?
Oh, from all the way back there. I thought that's what he was responding to. I'm sorry. Did he get cut off? Okay, we'll come back to you. I thought he was answering
I got
me. That's
cut
why
off.
I was confused.
I'm sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I got disconnected. I couldn't really hear the request.
No, I was telling you I was listening to you and that you could proceed.
I'm going to turn myself off video. Maybe that's the bandwidth issue.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Probably
Okay.
a bandwidth issue.
I was telling you that I was listening to you because I actually thought you were. I was asking you to be loving, empathetic, and understanding, not in the trying to save her. We're not trying to save her. We're trying to understand where she's coming from, and for you to come up with 3 words that show empathy and understanding.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't subscribe to that. You've got a person who's damaged and who is showing animosity towards, let's say, this is not I understand that some folks have that feeling, but the best I can do for you is acknowledge that you're a fellow victim of white supremacy. And I understand where these feelings have come from. But
okay, so you said confusion, because I liked where you were going before, because I feel like you can answer this question. You just have resistance right now. You said confusion. So now you said victim of white supremacy. I'll take that from you. And then just let me move on to hear from the other people. And then maybe you can come back in after you hear from the other brothers. Deal?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Jimmy. Oh, Kamal. Sorry. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, what's up, Martine? How you doing?
Wait, oh no. Sorry. I was like, wait a minute. Kamal's mouth is not moving. I'm sorry, Kamal. I didn't, she must have been spotlighting you and I saw Jimmy's hand. Who are we talking to?
Jimmy.
This is Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy. And then Kamal, you can come up next. I'm sorry. Jimmy, what's up, brother?
How you doing, sweetheart?
That man, he hard at work. He's like, I got me a job. I don't know what she talking about. Making that truck driver money.
Hey, look, you got to do what you got to do, you know? And I
Okay,
had to
so
come
please
on.
answer my question. I need 3 words for your initial reaction, 3 words of empathy, love, and understanding, and then say what you got to say.
All right. Well, my reaction to what was read was hurt, bitterness, and there was a third one I had, but I don't remember. But I see hurt and I see bitterness and resentment, I guess you could put into it. All the situation is stemming from something that's been orchestrated for a long time. You know, this is what we are in right now is something that's how can I put it? That's been put to the table, and the damage is still continual. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. The people that are especially okay. You mentioned that this was you in particular, and that you were able to step out of that mentality because you realize possibility your circle that you were in played the influence of your emotional state, and where you were, you know, mentally. And that's what it is for the most part. A lot of the backlash or the pain that the people are in this mindset are feeling are people who are in a realm that they feel that they can't get out of, like a rut that they're stuck in. In order to get out of that, you have to understand the healing comes from within. The time or the moment you realize your worth, your value, is the time you start to heal. And when you're able to heal within, you can now begin to heal or, you know, try to heal what's around you. And if you can't, you know what moves to make. Meaning you may have to make some move and adjustment because the circle that you're in is not good. And that you need to place yourself elsewhere where you can be productive and grow mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Ashe, like the Wu
So
community, right?
yes, because it is the community that's I mean, not even community. There's certain certain communities that are in pain and that are suffering. They talk a lot. I have a brother. Now we're talking in a women aspect, but my brother and he has a bunch of guys that he circles himself around, and I call them the He-Man Woman Hater Club because all they do is bash women, and particularly black women. You know,
Thank you for saying that.
Huh?
Thank you for saying that because it's not just this perspective; it's an angry black man perspective too, right?
Absolutely. And these guys, they swear by everything that the black women are the death of the black man. And until we realize or try to understand the whole dynamics of everything, then we can, we can better maneuver in our life or relationship wise and what have you. You got to understand, the woman could do but so much, a man could do but so much to hurt you, or as much as you allow it, you know?
All right, Jimmy, I don't want to cut you off, but we're 7:43. I know some people have to leave. We're going to drop information. Admin, I have 2 more hands up. Jimmy, you know what this means, right? You got to come back for part 2.
I'm here. Let me know.
All right, but thank you so much. You were supposed to give me 3 words of empathy, but I'm going to take your share as that, right? Because you definitely showed empathy within your share. Come on, let's see. Let's follow instructions.
You have to love the platform. Back again.
Thank you. Okay, brother Kamal, good to see you.
Look
3,
likewise, sister.
Three words, your initial reaction. Three
My
words showing love, empathy, and understanding, and then whatever you have to say.
All right, got it, sister. Got it. Thank you for the courageous conversation. I say my 3 words are destruction, woundedness, and purge. My words of affirmation and empathy is an apology, restoration, and roots.
Oh, Shay. Y'all hear that? Where my boy, what's his name? Who came off? Leon. You listening, Leon? Leon was not. Leon's like, all right, come on.
Yeah, so I think in the spirit of what came from the acts of faith, just around an apology, around certain things that we can take responsibility for. And ultimately, we have to take responsibility for all of it, though we didn't create it, right? So we recognize that our trauma has its roots in a lot of our deep traumatic experiences, historical traumas, right? That is totally our responsibility in having to create a narrative of what the possibilities, what the lessons are, and where we can go from learning and gleaning from the dynamic of our separation and division. And, it starts with an apology and recognizing sometimes you're apologizing for things that you were ignorant to. And when you become enlightened about them, then you have to start to take some ownership. So playing this out, because the norms are so dysfunctional and they feel so natural, and the perspectives that we have feel so right, like this is the right thing. And that's why people are holding on with dear life and attachment to being right. And it's keeping us from being connected, united, and being able to move forward, right? And so, yeah, that's where my heart is at this particular point. I can apologize because in my unconsciousness, I'm sure that there were things that I was doing when feeling 100% right, in my journey and my justification and my rationale, but was causing deep pains and triggering and constantly, gnawing at somebody's existence and destroying their sense of value and worth in the world, right? And so, yeah, that's my piece, sister. Thank you for the courageous conversation. And, it's a deep, deep, deep dive work that we have to do. That's why Roots is a part of that, because the sister's purge was clearly connected to an embracing of the conditions of what's around her and looking from the rootedness, maybe just from her short time of existence on the planet, and not rootedness in a memory that we have a shared common trauma and shared common work to do around concocting the medicine that's going to heal us. And I'm complete.
Thank you. And I appreciate, value, and honor your apology. And you're saying her, she's me, she's here. Look at all these squares. These women dropping twos all day in this chat. She is in here. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Who, Keith? I thought I saw your hand up. Okay, love is love.
Yes, my hand was up, but I figure I just let the guys speak first because I had a chance. So for those who didn't get a chance to speak, I put my hand down. And after everybody speak, if there's still more time, then I will share.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Come on, brother. Love is love. You're up.
Well, just
3
to keep it really
words,
brief.
your initial reaction, 3 words of love, empathy, and understanding, and what you have to say. Even if it's not loving, empathetic, or understanding. We're being honest today. We're walking in our truth. We're trying to get down to it.
Absolutely. So just briefly, so that everybody else can get an opportunity as well. My 3 words is fair, unsafe, and love. My empathetic words are accept, accountability, and take ownership.
Awesome.
Do I continue? Or
yeah, what did you have to say?
Oh, so as far as that, everybody, well, the previous 2 gentlemen said it so beautifully. We all have to, I guess, not even I guess, we all absolutely have to be mindful of what we are doing, how we are being a factor in the situation, and we have to, as individuals, change what we are, adding negatively, so that we could be a positive impact. So we have to individually understand what we are doing to better the situation, to not make the situation better. We have to understand that first, so that we can make the shift, make the change, and be more positive, and be of impact. So I feel like and granted, like the previous gentleman, we can't save everybody, but everybody have been affected by something, and if we could get to the root and we could understand what led to that situation or led to that condition, then we could start making the change and accept it, and take ownership of it and just make the shift, complete.
And we can save somebody, right? Maybe somebody in here. Ashe. And I'm over here pinching myself like I want them to see me crying. But why? God bringing me to tears. Thank you so much. I swear, every time I do this, it's like so unexpected, the shares that I get. Thank you so. Did you hear his first three? I was confused. I was like, are those his empathetic words? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, Keith, come on.
Okay. Yes. So my 3 words, well, I have more of like phrases, I guess. The first thing when it came to the video was I saw a broken family. I had bad choices, and I had men has failed her in some way. And my words of empathy will definitely be apology, like the men have said, everybody didn't do it, but however, we're being categorized as a whole. So we definitely have to take ownership. There's definitely men that we know who have done things deliberately to hurt, and some have done it, unintentionally. So I definitely want to apologize to the women here, because it is a reality. It's just, it has happened, and we need to just do better, right? But as far as, the encouragements and things like that, I just feel like, for one, you women are very smart, you're very intelligent, you're very beautiful, and you decide who you date. You decide who you allow in your circle. You decide who you allow in your space. And you got to try to make sure that don't let your heart ache prevent you from allowing somebody that's really beneficial to come in your life, and don't continue to accept the heartache that you're used to in the toxic relationships. Don't continue to be attracted to that same type of behavior. That's one thing. The second thing is we have to get a better understanding of family, right? When you realize that because there's a difference between wanting a boyfriend or a girlfriend and wanting a family. Because as a family, you got to look at it as a team. I know you're talking about, self-identity and self-worth. And yes, you do need to know who you are, so that when you in any situation, you can be who you are. However, we have to get to a place now where we got to understand is we are a team. Everybody has a role, and we got to communicate more. We have to be able to be honest and open, but however, we got to be able to learn how to communicate and give people the benefit of the doubt, give people that understanding of, I need to know where you're coming from, and I'm going to take your words for face value, and we're going to exchange. We're going to keep communicating and keep coming back to the table to figure out how can we move as a team so that we can both heal, because this is the problem, to be honest. Black men are hurt, Black women are hurt, Latino men are hurt, Latino women are hurt. So it just keep begotten hurt. And we just have to start building each other and healing each other. One hand washes the other, both wash the face. We have to come together to try to make sure that we both taking care of each other. As a man, if I'm 100% trying to help the Black woman and the Black woman is 100% trying to help me, how do we lose? It's the fact that we have this sort of like resistance because we've been hurt. So it's like, I want to help, but I'm not going to give too much of myself because I don't want to invest too much, because if it goes left, then I'm going to be back broken. We have to build this trust. So that goes to the second thing I want to say, which is trust. Whether it's little baby steps to build a bigger trust, at some point we have to build a trust in each other, whether it's baby steps, whether it's conversation, whether it's these type of groups that we have these conversations in, whether it's just going on these small dates. And what I mean by dates is like just going to places where you can, experience fun, learn about different things together, build, and just do things where it's more communication based. I think that's definitely a powerful thing. And last but not least is we have to bring back the love. And what I mean by love is that we just have to value each other more. You understand the way the way men value sports or their job, or the way that women value their hair or their nails. If we love each other the way we love other things, we will be unstoppable. We will definitely be a force to be reckoned with, and we definitely will be. It won't be so much, depression. It won't be so much drug abuse. It won't be so much of us clashing. Where if we love each other and we value each other, I think that was sort of uplift our people as a whole. But I definitely don't want to take away from what women have went through, and I definitely want to apologize for that. And I just hope that y'all will, at some point, y'all will just trust us again, whether it's as a family member, as a brother, as a friend, as a lover. I just hope that you can use your woman intuition to decipher through the shenanigans, because there are good men out there. And for the men who are out here, let's continue to be a positive force where we can sort of bring our other brothers into trying to do the right thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your share. And let me just clarify one thing. When I stressed individuality, it's in a team spirit though, because when you have a team, there's still two individuals. So I want the individuality to be respected. I want to make sure that you're on the right team. So that's what I mean by that. And what I love so much about your share, Keith, is that you're promoting accountability from both people. You're not placing blame one way or the other. And that's what I want for us to do in this space. I want us to hold ourselves accountable. I want us to honor and identify the issues, right? Forget the fluff. Let's get down to the issues. Okay, before we close out, I really want to hear from Cheryl's husband again, because he was so turned off. So I want to check back in with you and the other elders in this space. How do you feel now? Because, it was not my intention to go negative. So I hope that that was cleared up, and maybe you saw something different. Adam, you have had your hand up. Let's hear from you real quick, my vet. And then what's Cheryl's husband's name? I'm sorry, I can't remember. If we could hear from you, I would appreciate it. Okay, Adam, what's up? And then Gabe. Unmute yourself, Adam.
Okay. Vibrational Greek word.
Your connection is bad, Adam. Maybe turn your camera off. Okay, I don't think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. No. The connection is bad, Adam. Put it in the chat. Gabe, you ready to talk to me?
Sure. I like the feedback that I got, that I heard from most of the brothers, and I just think that we're all in the right place. I just think that there's the accountability is there, and that we just need, as I said earlier, to establish a certain value, because we all have our way of looking at this, from a positive perspective. But how can we come together, and not blame each other? Because it's really not about us. It's about the greater society, okay? And the impact that they've had on us for the last 400 years. And this is the result of us trying to assimilate, trying to survive, and trying to do better. And also, developing and living in a culture, okay, that really doesn't support us as a people. And so, as I said before, I'm 71 years old. I've been to this dance, for a while. And, I'm really at the point where the conversations are great, but there's not enough action, okay? And so these are the problems that I think that we're having. And if we just could go back and just look at what some of our brothers in the past have sacrificed to bring this information to us and to bring solutions to us that we seem to negate, because, I was listening to Shawnee the other night and she was saying, it's not the knowledge or it's not the information, and it's not. It's what you do with it.
With it, absolutely.
So all of us, we sit here, the brothers, and we don't trust each other. We don't get together. Our women do, and they create, these forums for themselves. Be the tree and all that. I tease my wife sometime about it, and I say, it should be being the tree should be the man's job. That's what he should be doing. He should be the tree because he's responsible. Black man is responsible for his woman and for his tribe and his nation. And we don't deal from that perspective. We deal from the greater society, okay, that has no love for us at all. Okay, so I appreciate, allowing me to come on and express myself. And I just hope that, the brothers that, continue to take responsibility for their offspring, and that, it's not easy raising a family. I've raised a family, thank God. And, the rewards of it is not based in materialism. Okay, it's a real spiritual reward. Okay, and so that's what really we need to strive for. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. But respectfully, Dave, I hope Cheryl over there pinching you. Be the tree got me here. There's some work women have to do together, right? And be the tree is what I'm talking about. Be the tree freed me. Okay, it was for us not to feel stifled, so that we could be walking our purpose and be all that we could be. We need to start looking at things differently. Another thing, I would love for you to stay with us, to advise us, right? But one thing, we get so caught up in our beliefs that we don't see the whole picture. What I'm proposing can exist in any type of relationship, or we have alternative families now. Whether we want to deal with it, admit it, we like it, we love it. We have 2 father households, 2 mother households, 2 transgender, a transgender man, which is a woman who transitioned into a man who's pregnant with a gay man's baby, okay? And whether we like it or not, that's who's here. And I'm here to serve everybody because I'm a human first, right? That doesn't mean that I have to agree with that. There's some things that I'm like, come on now, y'all just going too damn far, right? But it's here, and I'm here to serve everybody. So I want to make that clear, but I respect and appreciate your perspective. I hope everybody comes back. Another thing I want to address, please, men, network, okay? I started a dating group because I'm trying to save the Black family, all right? And the men got together and invited each other to their men's groups. You guys can start one, all right? What we're saying right now, like he said, we have the information, but what are we going to do? Make sure y'all come back. Make sure you invite your friends. Let's grow this program. Wake up, everybody. They get on my nerves because I got the 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday because I'm in Houston. But listen, it has truly changed my life. Sweetness said something in the chat that I saw where she said, when you were talking about choices, Keith, sometimes we're not conscious of those choices, right? This issue is deep, right? We need to heal the community. We have mental health issues, okay? I say I've evolved from that space, from the parts of that piece of writing that pertain to me, right? But the reason why it even came to mind is because I'm 44 and some of my friends are still there. They are ones. They 100% believe this. The relationships that are in are just for, you know, oh, he could buy me this. This one does this. It still exists. So let's focus on healing the community. Let's commit to coming back. Let's spin off. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, we can meet at 6 o'clock at night. All right. I'm asking for partnership. I'm asking for community. I thank you guys so much. Y'all showed up today. Thank you so much. I love you. Please come back. And I'm done. I'm done. Oh, I'm not done. I gotta read the exit slides. This is my contact information, y'all. First and foremost, I'm child sexual abuse prevention educator. If you want a free parent pack on how to teach your children about child sexual abuse, how to implement preventative measures in your household, email me. Email me with the subject free parent pack. That's my phone number. If you are interested in coming on the dating Zoom, text that number, RSVP, or get the information. Send me your name, your age, and where you live, and dating Zoom, okay? Because I'm trying to make meaningful connections, trying to change the face of dating. These are my offerings. If you just want to partner with me, you want to do a talk somewhere else at some other venue or another space, that's my contact information, okay? Stay in touch with me. You want to give me your information too? Use the chat. Share your information with everybody, private message me, whatever. Love offerings and donations. Again, let's put our money where our mouth is. We know that money makes the world go round. We need money to keep things going. This is how you can donate. $1 to $1,000, give something. Zelle Quick Pay Soul Leadership Development at gmail.com. Cash App $ Spirit of a Woman. Code hashtag 588MM, and that will come to me, or you can just donate to Spirit of a Woman. You also have another option. Staying in the spirit of giving. If you are like me and you're like, oh, I'm giving, and you forget, hey, monthly automated payments, you don't even have to think about it, and they just spread the love. You could do $25 a month, $50 a month, $75 a month, $100 a month. Okay, you can use these links. They're going to also be in the chat. You can take a screenshot of this or just get them out of the chat to make monthly automated donations. Coming up next, tomorrow, Wednesday, May 18th, 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern. Your choice, the root of your power through the lens of free will, facilitated by Jennifer Turpo. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but please join the lovely Jennifer. We have great facilitators here, all right? Sign up and just stick with us. Join us on Thursday, May 19th. Networking as a Way of Being, facilitated by Valerie Lyons.
Martine. So there's been quite a few new members in this space today. I'm so excited. I don't know if you're still here. We dropped about 10 people in the last 15 minutes or so. But if you are still here, and I know that you might have shared in the space that this is your first time, just drop it in the chat again so that you can receive all the love that our community loves to give. Just say I'm new. And it doesn't matter if you're in Zoom or if you're on Facebook. Go ahead, drop it. I want to see you. And I also want to see you tomorrow and the day after and the day after. Well, at least for the days that we're here. So we're here Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 8:30, and Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 7:30. So check in on Zoom. We're streaming live on Facebook, and we have text alerts as well. The text alert, you will be, if you're a part of the system, then you'll be able to receive text message saying for you to join us as a reminder. So you will open up a text right now, blank text, type in 74121 and put in Woo Nation in the comment section, press send, and you'll be in our automated text messaging system. We have a store, y'all, and inside the store we got stuff. We have mug, thermos, laptop sleeve, bag, journal, mask, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all sizes, all colors. Something is in there for you. So go to bit.ly/Woo Swag to see what it is and get your swag today. So to register And you need to do this every week because every week we have a different lineup and you want to be in the know. So get your name in our list and receive the email. You go to bit.ly/wake up movement and do this every week. We have two Facebook pages. One is private, one is public. We're live streaming right now on our private page. So if you want to go be a member, you want to go to bit.ly/woo community and then fill out a couple of questions and somebody will admit you and then you'll be a part of the group. We have a public page, which is a fan page. So you go to bit.ly/Rule Nation. Rule Nation is uppercase. Click like, and then anything that is posted there, you'll be notified of. We have an Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. This is another way for you to stay in touch, to be reminded of our sessions and who's coming up. And we have bit.ly/Woo on YouTube, where you can see some of the presentations. Not all, but some at the moment. We have an email, info.wakeupseries@gmail. If you'd like to be a part of us, whether facilitating or working behind the scenes as admin, you're definitely welcome. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, drop us an email, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. At this point, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to ask you all to unmute yourself so we can give Martine our love shower, which is appreciation for this great, engaging session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martine.
Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
Martine.
Powerful
Thank
and the
you.
entire
You are
family.
so
Thank you.
great.
Blessings,
Courageous.
family. Thank you,
Just
everybody.
sufficient.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
great
Thank
conversation.
you.
Now you got a whole series to create.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Martine. Thank you always. Thank you, everybody. Love y'all.
For this empowerment.
Family, I love
Being used to
y'all.
doing. I'm gonna learn from
Thank you for
it.
being
For showing up.
courageous.
Thank you for bringing the brothers in.
Yes.
It really is.
This for joining us.
Yeah, y'all brought the brothers today. Thank
Powerful.
you.
Brothers, come on back now.
This was very like high spirited and it uplifts you and it's for Black people, you know.
Yes, tell them about Woo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, come back. Come back.
Yes, thank you.
Come back and bring your brothers with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I say.
I love y'all. Everybody have a good day.
I want to say
too.
peace and blessings to all the brothers. It was really courageous for them to come on camera to actually do their shares. Martine, I love you for continuing bringing heavy duty topics that we don't normally talk about, so it's really important. I'm learning so much to transcend some of these things into our community, these conversations. I see sometimes it brings a lot of discomfort, but if we don't feel uncomfortable, then we're not going to get the healing and the necessary tools that we need to embrace what we're dealing with, the pain, the hurt. And as the brothers say, the roots, and we got to be the trunk now to bring out great branches in order to bring out great leaves and great fruit. So it's really key that these conversations are being had in our community. And I just want to say thanks and much blessings, much appreciation for the work everyone is doing behind the scene, facilitating this type of heavy duty topics. I think it's really important that we move on as a people, back to the roots and how we need to pull our family together. Real important.
Thank you.
For
Peace
seeing
and blessings.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a good one.